One time for the underdog. One time for the underdog. You got the world on you.
What's going on, traders? I hope you guys are doing very well. This is Oussama, expert Forex trader and mentor, and in this new video we're going to discuss the two trades that I took yesterday on pound NZD and pound AUD. I mean, there were two great trades that everyone can learn from, and many of the students have took them as well. So we will go through them and we'll discuss why they take them and the reasons behind the confirmations and the confluences behind them. So starting out on the pound NZD, as you can see, we have a strong downtrend. It's clear that we've been creating lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So these trends are quite very strong. Some of it is due to fundamentals. The Brexit news and everything is affecting the pound heavily, and we've seen that on the price action because the charts and the price show us everything. If you want to know the state of an economy, just look at its currency and you'll know everything, because this is basically two economies fighting against each other. And we see here when the pound is falling, it means that the UK is losing to New Zealand. That's like basically it, to keep it very simple for you. The currency of the UK is weaker than the currency of the New Zealand, which is the dollar. So it's clearly that we have a downtrend, and we broke this weekly key level. These levels, we got them from our top-down analysis, the analysis that we do every weekend, which is the foundation of our trading. This is a major key level, and notice how price respects it even on the 15-minute chart. You would say that price would not respect these levels, but it really respects them. Even if you go down to the 5-minute, you'll find like price really respects them, because many of people and many traders, institutions, banks, and everybody watches them. So this is why you see reactions towards these zones. So we had price pullback, we had our Asian session, did nothing, our famous consolidation in the Asian session, and start of the European session, we broke this consolidation range to the upside. We went on to our 200 EMA, we formed our M formation. Let's try to draw it for you guys. As you can see, here's our M formation. It's a perfect M, and this setup was quite big, so you see that the pullback is significant, and this is due to the strong trend. I mean, the strongest the trend is going to be, the steepest the pullbacks are going to be, and the moves, simply because this move right here from here to here could be 100 pips. I mean, as I said, yeah. So you would expect something like this. You would expect market to move a lot more than usual when you have these larger cycles and larger trends. And this is exactly what happened. We've got our strong confirmation candle. I was in right here, and to be honest, I kind of knew, because my target was a little bit larger than usual due to this big stop loss. First off, I had my stop around here, then I started to lower it as price moved down until I finally got it to past break even. I trailed my stop loss and I locked in some profits, and this is a risk-free trade. If you want to hold, you can hold for longer, or I just wanted to get 60 pips, which is largely enough. And from analyzing the previous trades, you can see that in these big days, market always goes for more than 60 pips, and the total for the day would be a lot more than 100. You mean, see 235 pips. Remember when I've done the volatility video? So I will leave a link in the description so you can watch it, where I've explained exactly how to choose the best pairs to trade, the pairs that move a lot, and how to predict how long market is going to go based on the daily range of pips. So there is a tool that on investing.com that calculates that for you, and I will leave the link of the video on the description or on the top right side of your screen. So let's carry on. It's basically very simple. We've had our confirmation candle, strong confirmation candle. I was in. I expected price to take a bit longer because I'm taking 60 pips here. So to be honest, I just went outside. I've had a lot of stuff to do. I went to the bank. I've done a lot of stuff, and I kept watching the trade on my phone, so I knew it's gonna take a little bit longer, and this is exactly what happened. So this trade met all our criteria. We had our valid setup with a strong confirmation. We made sure that we are not trading against any strong levels or trend lines that are going to affect our trade. And we had we checked the news, we're aware of them. We had our ideal entry, not late entry, and we had our correlation confirmations from the other pairs. Let's check out NZD USD and see what it was doing around this time. So NZD USD around this time was trending up. As you can see, it was this candle and it was clearly trending up. Not like pound USD, who was reversing and falling to the downside. So you can see around this time, this is where our entry was. The pound was falling and reversing and creating lower lows and lower highs. The NZD was gaining strength and was clearly trending up. Okay, who wins here? It's very simple. The NZD around this particular time, this is the immediate correlation. Who's gonna win here? Of course the NZD, because it's stronger. And this is what we did. We basically went short on the pound NZD because the pound was weaker than the NZD at this particular time. That doesn't mean it's always going to be like this. That doesn't mean the daily correlation, the weekly, the monthly is going to be like this. We just care about the immediate correlation. We just knew that this candle signifies for us that, okay, the weakness of the pound is, we've had like a weak pound and a strong NZD, and if market continues like this for hours, for a couple of hours, our trade would be fine. And this is exactly what happened. Market continued to fall the next few hours, and the NZD kind of went up again and then reversed, but the pound like kept falling more than the NZD. And this always kept the NZD a little bit stronger than the pound. And this is how you get a perfect trade like this. The same exact analysis goes for our second trade on the pound AUD. Notice here how the confirmation candle was a bit like bigger, way bigger than the confirmation candle on the NZD, on the pound NZD. And to be honest, I wasn't going to take this trade. I analyzed it before. I knew it met all the criteria simply because we had this big candle I didn't want to enter. So the only reason why I entered was because I managed to get a better entry, a slightly better entry than this one when price pulled back. I entered on this green candle when it was pulling back. So I've saved myself a couple of pips. Let's say our ideal entry would be here. I've saved myself like 5 to 6 pips, which is still tiny, but it felt that it's good because the ideal entry, I know it would be here, and I got a better entry, so it felt good to enter right here. And the same, basically it's the same analysis. I was expecting them to fall, and this is what exactly happened. We were in a bit of drawdown, and this is expected due to start of the New York session and the false move of the New York session, and also a news release. So our stop, I think I'm inversing this. It looked something like this. My target was around this weekly key level, and my stops at the beginning were around here, so I kept lowering them when price lowered down until eventually they were like, I trade them past break even, and it's a risk-free trade also. So it was a great trade. And there is another reason why price did bounce here, as you can see. I will show you now. So if we can go back here on the 15-minute chart, we can draw a couple of trend lines. We call them, let's say, minor trend lines, because they're not like from the daily or the weekly, and they're still valid, and price respects them, but you just expect them not to be like so strong like the daily ones, the weekly ones. And there is also another one here, and this lines up exactly with this bounce. So I was aware of this trend line, but as I said, this is the 15-minute. It's a 15-minute trend line, so you can expect price to break it, especially when you have like a very weak pound. So these kind of trend lines, I kind of draw them with a slightly like lighter color, so I'm aware of them. If anything like happens massively, I'll close, I will realize that, but I will also keep in mind that they can be broken because we have them all the time. Notice here at the same points you can make two trend lines. This trend line was perfect because it gave us another confluence, which is the retest. Notice here, this is the breakout, retest, continuation. We can also plot the fibs. I did do the fibs before taking my entries, and this was around a 50%, close to a 50% fib retracement level. Let's try the 38.2. It lines up perfectly with the 38.2. So many confluences, okay? You have the retest of the broken trend line. You have the bounce of our 200 EMA. You have the small M formation that you can see here. It's hard to see here, but tie this up with the other pound pairs and you will find that it's a valid M formation. You have the pattern, you have many confluences on this trade also, and you have the strong confirmation candle, and that's it. It was a great trade also. And notice how market went for far more than our take profit. Market went for 165 pips. Okay, so for the people who like to hold, I mean, why not? You can try this if you, I mean, you've got to do this for a long period of time to master it. So you kind of know where to exit, where to hold, where to know prices reversing and everything. But for us, I'm kind of a master of the first strong burst, as you can see here. The bursts that don't have strong pullbacks. So I can, to some extent, I can kind of predict those and trade them very well. But I'm not a swing trader, so for swing traders, if you can master this, if you can master knowing where price would likely go or where price is going to reverse at, so you can kind of hold these and keep trading your stops after price goes to new levels. And this is the beauty of our system. It gives you like very accurate entries where you can kind of choose to hold, or you can choose to be in and out, basically the same as my style. So guys, if you want to learn exactly how we do this and how we trade like this and become an efficient, accomplished trader yourself, I'm still currently taking in students for the one-on-one mentoring program and the Forex course, and where you will get to learn exactly how to get these accurate entries and trade the proper professional way. Okay, you can take your trade into a whole another level in quite a short period of time by learning everything from a proven expert. I mean, I've been trading for a long time now. I've fallen for every trap and every mistake every trader can do, and I've learned from them, and I've managed to create a system that's gonna minimize the losses massively while having and maximizing the wins and the win rate. Okay, so if you want to get all the details and information about the mentoring program and Forex course, make sure to contact me on my Facebook or Instagram, and I'll be happy to answer you. So until next time, good luck and good trading. This is FX220.